with you, I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you, my color bright. I ain't finna fade with you, man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports.
Okay, Coach, it is a brisk night in the Midwest as we bring you football from Paul Brown Stadium in the Queen City, Cincinnati, Ohio. Tonight, it's on to Week 10 already, and we've got a good one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Second-round pick. This is Joe Mixon. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
He finds his running back, Mixon. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 4 down. Watch 80, watch 80.
They'll try the left side. McGowan. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling, and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, he can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. And the offensive starters for the Panthers.
And, partner, sometimes it's good for a team to get the Thursday nighter right after a loss because you don't have very long to stew on what just happened. You have to turn right around, get ready, and go out and play again. Or, as one of the veterans told me, I actually like this because I can keep my anger for this short amount of time and take it out on the other team.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
You better be afraid of me, son. You better be afraid.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
Here now the offense for the Bengals.
And this certainly doesn't seem like an ideal situation for them because they're coming in on a losing streak, and they've got the quick turnaround right here to Thursday night. But maybe that's for the best. Get right back on the horse and go at it again and not dwell on the losing that they've had in recent weeks.
Darnold now to throw. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll be 4th down. Well, they tried to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They'll run on first down. McGowan. "31 yards there and a first down."
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Carl Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Allen off the play fake. Looking deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Allen. This pass complete to Higgins. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They've dropped 5 straight coming in, so right now cherishing this lead. And they've got the football as well, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Darnold. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it down.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Allen going to try and throw on third down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
False start, offense.
Well, I thought they should have punted before. Now they probably definitely need to punt, right?
Yeah, we did a little mind melding there, didn't we? Because I was wondering, why are you out there if you're not going to punt it in the first place? Now, I don't think they have any choice.
On the return is Williams. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Now Joe Mixon, and he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Darnold. That's complete to the tight end Sample. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt, you need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. A big play there for the Panthers. 58 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play...
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The extra point up and good. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game? Because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd and 7, Darnold with a catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A draw play for Mixon, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped to the backfield. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. Here's Jordan Berry now. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. This is fielded at the 7. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
Throwing on first down is Allen. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he's got his target. That's more. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And again, it's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
To the air, Allen. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A final shot before half for Allen. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
On 3rd down, McGowan.
Get ready.
Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this...
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line.
How many times have we sat with coordinators, and especially the defensive guys, they've talked about big plays, sacks. They often come in bunches. Well, it may not be a bunch here, but that is the 3rd sack of the game for them.
And around sack 3 or 4, I would think it starts to get in the quarterback's head a little bit.
Not just the quarterback, the offensive play caller, the offensive line, knocks people off balance and changes what they normally do. The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Now a play fake here on first down. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. A first carry for Samaje Perine.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Here's Allen. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 20-yard line.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
This quarterback now 6 of 17 throwing the ball, only 35%, but he does have a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight, He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To throw is Darnold. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Darnold on third down. And that is incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn. You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Cincinnati. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Here's Allen to throw it. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Panthers have taken the lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. The shotgun snap for Darnold. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Darnold now to throw. He gets this one to Boyd. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. 3rd and 2, Darnold. He's got his man, Boyd. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. Give him 6 yards in the 1st down. Darnold now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now it's Darnold. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw, Darnold. He's got his man. This is Tate. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Darnold from the gun. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Drew Sample, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So now the Panthers down 17-16, and time, a huge factor. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now Allen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Neal. And down he'll go at the 25. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. From the gun, it's Allen. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Right back to him on first down. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
Let's go. Do it.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity?
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Grady Jarrett in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. He'll look to throw. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack. And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. To throw is Allen. And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. This pass complete to Higgins. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Panthers, they inch closer to respectability now at 3-6 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.